I'm thrilled to be back in the state I love with thousands of proud, patriotic New Yorkers who are really the heart and soul of America. We know that. And the reason I'm here is because it hasn't been done in many decades. It hasn't been done for a long time, but we are going to win New York. And that's the first time in many, many years that a Republican can honestly say it, and we're going to do it. We have to do it. We do it, and the election nationwide is over. We take over the White House, and we fix up our country, okay? We fix up our country.
And it's possible. It really is. And we wouldn't have to worry about Michigan so much and Pennsylvania so much. We are worried, but New York would be awesome. Hi, everybody, and thanks to Rob Schmidt. It was a great night, and we're going to stay on it for a little bit because, quite frankly, we're one of the only networks in the world who show this stuff in its entirety. We might be the only one, actually. Can't count on Fox News, can you? So we're going to go through it, going to celebrate it a little bit. Kind of special for me. I grew up maybe 4 miles from there, 4 miles. Saw my first concert at Nassau Coliseum. It was U2 back in the 80s. Anyway, New York State. If he won this, and a lot of folks believe it's within striking distance, 28 electoral votes. President Trump said it's not been done in many, many decades. He's right, 4 decades, since Ronald Reagan carried this state in 1984. Of course, he won 48 other states, but wouldn't it be spectacular? Now, he's making a real effort here. I'm told that there are campaign ad buys. That's always a big deal. And a serious effort on the ground. Trump in the Bronx, going to places that Republicans don't normally go. Trump, where else? Everywhere, everywhere, even with the trial. Tonight, in the heart of Nassau County, which does still have a pretty thriving Democrat presence, thousands of people could not get inside. And the metro area, don't forget New Jersey. It's right across the river. 100,000 or so people went to that rally in Wildwood. They commute to New York. They know how bad things are, and things are terrible. President Trump mentioned Rudy Giuliani a lot tonight. Yeah, he brought about a golden age in New York that lasted for about 20 years. Now, New York, if you take a look at it, it's pretty harsh. It really is. The homeless, the illegal migrants, the danger. I've been here now for what, 20 years almost? You know, I was away from the military. I've been back for a while. You didn't have to worry. You could go anywhere you wanted to. No worries. Now you got to worry. Now you got to look around. And people in New York don't like it. So there's a real chance tonight could really make history. I think that New York is winnable. Anyway, President Trump sure does.
And so I say to the people of New York, with crime at record levels, with terrorists and criminals pouring in, and with inflation eating your hearts out, vote for Donald Trump. What the hell do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
What the hell do you have to lose? Remember that? He set it up at in a black church, I think in Michigan, and everybody was so appalled. But it makes so much sense. It really does. New York State. Look at it. We got some crummy leaders here and crummy quality of life. We'll get back to that. Speaking again about the assassination attempts and about the Lord.
The message is it's time to stop the lies, stop the hoaxes, stop the smears, stop the lawfare or the fake lawsuits against me, and stop claiming your opponents will turn America into a dictatorship. Give me a break. Because the fact is that I'm not a threat to democracy, they are.
He's getting to the Lord. It's coming up. Now, I know some Republicans, I know some of the rhinos, they're out there. Some of the people who say Donald Trump isn't pure enough on certain issues. They may get like annoyed by this, but this is exactly what he should be saying right about now in the campaign. Speaking more to a general election audience. Watch.
We will have no crime, only success. And unlike your current radical Democrat regime, I'm not driven by partisan ideology. I'm driven by results, and I'm driven by New York common sense. It's common sense, right? Right? It's common sense. You know, I like to say the party, this is a great party. I like to say the party is really, you know, we're conservative and all that, right? Who knows? You know what we are? We're really people with common sense. We need walls. We need good elections. We want low taxes. We want great police officers that are well taken care of. We don't want to defund the police. We're the party of common sense more than anything else, and it's picked up a lot of steam. It's true.
You catch that? Why it works? You know, there are some people out there, conservatives, they're horrible, they're terrible people. So he's a little bit like, yeah, conservative, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. We're common sense and all those things. I think Democrats, common sense Democrats, logical Democrats could get behind. All right, now President Trump talks about what he's been through lately, and yes, God.
God has now spared my life. It must have been God. Thank you. Not once, but twice. And there are those that say he did it because Trump is going to turn this state around. He's going to turn this country around. He's going to make America great again. And maybe. And we're going to bring back religion into our country. Bring it back.
You know, there's absolutely no sign of aging. It's the reverse. It's like that Benjamin Button guy. He's getting younger. There was a lightness to him, like a pep in his step. He's always really energetic. Newt Gingrich, I heard him say it's based on what he's been through and realizing that, yes, God has a plan. And when he was underneath those Secret Service agents in Butler, he really was touched by God. And so was Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. They tried to kill him early in his term. He came back and he changed the world. Pope John Paul II, relatively early in his term, remember? They tried to shoot him too in the same year, 1981. Reagan and the Pope together helped end the Cold War. It was magnificent. It was biblical. All right, back to politics and New York, and it's important.
When I told some people in Washington, yeah, I'm going up to New York, we're doing a campaign speech, they said, what do you mean New York? You can't ever, nobody can win, Republicans can't win. I said, I can win New York, and we can win New York. We're going to win New York. And if you vote for me, I'm going to reduce your taxes, reduce your crime, and reduce your levels of stress, because you have a lot of stress. The only thing that I will increase are your incomes, and your love for your state will come roaring back again.
Lower people's stress. I've never seen a political leader talk about stress. It's a real thing that people have. And New York is really fertile to go red. We have a crummy mayor here who may be arrested any second, Eric Adams, a total and complete incompetent. And we have, forgive me, but a deranged senator named Chuck Schumer, who has gone totally insane, in my opinion. I mean, I don't want to be, I'm not a doctor, all right? You know, everybody gets upset. Oh, you can't say that. Well, something happened to this guy. He used to be common sense, middle class. AOC showed up. When Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez showed up, you see, she was the star, and he's in the background, and he did some recalibrating. And then an angry mob of liberals showed up outside of his house. So the old Chuck Schumer, who was reasonable, who was actually a little bit nice, who was even friends with Donald Trump. You know he was friends with Donald Trump, for real?
I was born in Brooklyn, the same place where Donald Trump's family comes from. His father and my grandfather were builders together in Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah. Even when he was much younger, you knew that he was going to go places.
Wow. But he was never supposed to go into politics. That guy has been in politics since he was 23 years old. Donald Trump, his first run, becomes president. A lot of this is jealousy. I mentioned this before. These guys are so jealous of Trump. So Trump derangement syndrome hit this guy bad. And I still think he should be arrested for this.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you.
If anybody listening right now put that in a letter and sent it to Ketanji Brown Jackson, the moment it got to her, the FBI, the federal marshals would be at your door. A couple of hours later, probably. That's against the law. So he should be arrested for that. And regarding the trouble that President Trump has had, i.e. the assassination attempts, put him on the list of persons of interest. I'm not saying they're suspects. I'm not saying they did anything. I'm saying that these are the guys that the cops should talk to because of the crazy rhetoric they have engaged in right there. And I also think he should be asked more about what did you mean when you said the Central Intelligence Agency and the entire intelligence community would try to take revenge on Donald Trump? That doesn't sound legal or American.
He's taking these shots, this antagonism,
Yep.
this taunting to the intelligence
Let me tell
community.
you take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
How about that moment? A swamp creature admitting that the deep state is real and they're in charge and they will thwart a democratically elected president. That was in January 3rd of 2017, 2 weeks before President Trump becomes president. Now, let's face it, and I'm totally okay with it, President Trump was tough on the intelligence community, and they needed it, right? Failed us from 9/11, weapons of mass destruction. It was a valid issue. But things are said in a campaign, and then you become president, and then you say some other things, because you have to govern. Very first full day in office for President Trump, he goes to Langley, Virginia, the headquarters of the CIA, and he tells them, guys, you're the best, and we're going to work together.
I want to say that there is nobody that feels stronger about the intelligence community and the CIA than Donald Trump. There's nobody. The wall behind me is very, very special. We really appreciate what you've done in terms of showing us something very special. And your whole group, these are really special, amazing people. Very, very few people could do the job you people do. And I want to just let you know, I am so behind you. And I know maybe sometimes you haven't gotten the backing that you've wanted. And you're going to get so much backing. Maybe you're going to say, please don't give us so much backing. Mr. President, please, we don't need that much backing. But you're going to have that. I believe that this group is going to be one of the most important groups in this country toward making us safe, toward making us winners again, toward ending all of the problems. We have so many problems. I can only say that I am with you 1,000%. I just wanted to really say that I love you.
I love you, he says. I love you. A great speech. He wants to, let's work together. And they were offended by this speech. Somehow the swamp turned this into, it was an ugly episode. President Trump never should have come. Yeah, that's what they said.